Dear friends, I have to be honest with you. Many people over 50 are unintentionally harming their kidneys, heart, and bones simply because they're taking magnesium, vitamin D3, and K2 the wrong way. It's not that the supplements are bad. It's that we take them at the wrong time, in the wrong doses, or in the wrong combinations. And the consequences don't show up immediately. They quietly build up day by day, unexplained fatigue, persistent aches, nighttime cramps, even calcium deposits in the arteries that we don't notice. But here's the good news: by adjusting the dosages of these three nutrients, magnesium, vitamin D3, and K2, your body can respond in amazing ways: better sleep, fewer cramps, stronger bones, a more stable heart, and reduced risk of arterial calcification. Today, with over 35 years of experience working with older adults, I'm going to show you the safest and most effective way to take them. So if you're over 50, don't leave this video. Even a small mistake can have a long-term impact on your health. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to get more health tips from me. Let's get started with the first part. 1. The role of magnesium, vitamin D3, and K2 in the body. As we step into our 50s, I've noticed something fascinating. Our bodies don't actually break down. They just become more delicate. They require a little more care, a little more attention, and sometimes missing even a tiny nutrient can throw the whole system off balance. Over my 30 years working with older patients, I've discovered a trio of nutrients quietly supporting their health: magnesium, vitamin D3, and vitamin K2. The names may sound simple, but when combined correctly, they work like an orchestra, keeping the body in perfect harmony. To me, magnesium is like the background musician, quiet, unassuming, but without it, the entire melody falls apart. It's involved in over 300 reactions in the body, and I can see the difference clearly in my patients. Even a slight deficiency can lead to restless nights, more muscle cramps, and irregular heartbeats. When magnesium is sufficient, sleep returns, muscles relax, and the heartbeat steadies like a calm lake. Interestingly, magnesium is also the key that activates vitamin D. Without it, D3 can't reach its full potential. Then there's vitamin D3. Most people over 60 that I see are deficient, not because they don't get sun, but because their bodies no longer synthesize it efficiently. D3 helps us absorb calcium, keeping bones strong and protecting against fractures and osteoporosis, the silent thief of aging, as I like to call it. Beyond bones, D3 supports immunity, lifts mood, and gives older adults the steady, calm energy we all deserve. But if D3 is the one bringing calcium into the house, vitamin K2 is the one putting everything in the right place. K2 ensures calcium goes to the bones, not the arteries or kidneys. I've seen far too many patients with calcified arteries just from missing K2. With K2, especially in the MK7 form, arteries stay flexible, the heart works more gently, and calcium, rather than being a burden, becomes a helpful friend again. Taken together, these three nutrients form a powerful line of defense against aging. And that's why I always tell my patients, let magnesium, D3, and K2 be your silent teammates. 2. Optimal dosages in the RDA. When it comes to dosages, I always remind my patients of one thing: numbers are never just numbers. They're the fine line between a body that's properly nourished and a body quietly wearing down month after month, year after year. Many people over 50 assume that following the RDA, the recommended dietary allowance, is enough. But the truth is, the RDA is more like putting just enough gas in your car so it doesn't stall. It keeps you going, yes, but it doesn't make the engine run smoothly or last longer. Magnesium is a perfect example. The RDA, around 310 to 420 units per day, only prevents severe deficiency. It's not enough to bring the body to an optimal state. In my clinical experience, many patients need 400 to 600 milligrams of elemental magnesium daily, especially those under stress, eating a lot of sugar, or taking medications that deplete magnesium. Sometimes I use an even simpler approach, calculating by body weight. About 4 to 6 milliliters per kilogram of body weight helps many of my patients regain deep sleep and significantly reduce nighttime cramps. Vitamin D3 is similar. The RDA recommends 600 to 800 IU per day. But for older adults, those who get little sun or whose skin doesn't synthesize D3 efficiently, that amount is like a drop of water on dry soil. To reach ideal blood levels, many people need 2,000 to 5,000 IU daily. In cases of severe deficiency, especially when combined with K2, I sometimes use up to 10,000 IU per day for a short period, always under careful monitoring. And then there's K2, a humble but essential nutrient. Many countries don't even have an official RDA for it. Yet research and my clinical experience both show that 100 to 200 micrograms per day, especially in the MK7 form, is optimal for directing calcium to the bones and preventing arterial deposits. I always emphasize to older adults, K2 doesn't give the instant wow effect like magnesium or D3, but it quietly protects your arteries over the long term. I often tell my patients, the right dosage doesn't just nourish your body today, it shapes your health for the next 10 to 20 years. And I believe that now more than ever. If you're still watching and finding this useful, leave a 1 in the comments so I know you're here. Now let's move on to part 3. 3. Safety limits and toxicity. When it comes to dosages, I always remind my patients anything that's good for the body has a limit. Even water, the thing we think of as harmless, can cause problems if you drink too much. Magnesium and vitamin D3 are the same. They're fantastic nutrients, but they need to be treated with the respect due to powerful substances. I remember many years ago, an older patient named Thomas Reed said to me, "Doc, if it's good, I'll just take more to be safe." And I had to sit down, look him in the eyes, and say slowly, the body doesn't respond to more being better. It only responds to the right amount. Take magnesium, for example. The official upper limit is around 350 milliliters of elemental magnesium per day, mainly to avoid diarrhea. But in certain therapeutic situations, I often prescribe 500 to 800 milligrams, of course, divided into multiple doses, and usually in a highly absorbable form, like magnesium glycinate. What I never skip is monitoring kidney function. If the kidneys are weak, magnesium can accumulate, and your body will send warning signals, nausea, muscle weakness, or irregular heartbeat. That's when it's time to pause and listen. Vitamin D3 tells a slightly different story. The official upper limit is 4,000 IU per day. But in real practice, to correct severe deficiency, I sometimes use 8,000 to 10,000 IU for a short period, always under careful monitoring. Because if taken long-term without supervision, D3 can raise calcium levels in the blood, leading to deposits in the kidneys and arteries. That's especially dangerous for older adults. The good news is that this risk drops significantly when D3 is taken with vitamin K2, the one that directs calcium to the right place. In medicine, dosage isn't just math. It's the art of balance, and your body deserves to be balanced in a smart, gentle, and thoughtful way. There are common mistakes to avoid. Sometimes, at the end of a long day in my clinic, I think about Eleanor, a 67-year-old woman, very careful, always convinced she was doing everything right. Yet her bones were still weak and her legs tired easily. She looked at me and said, "David, I don't understand. I take vitamin D every day." And just by reviewing how she was taking it, I could immediately see where the problem lay. I share this because so many people make mistakes that seem harmless, but over time, the body pays the price. The first mistake, just like Eleanor's case, is taking D3 without K2, especially at high doses. Without K2, calcium doesn't know where to go. It can end up in the heart and the arteries, and nobody wants that. Then there's Richard, 71, who kept getting muscle cramps even though he was taking magnesium regularly. The issue, he was taking it with calcium, two minerals competing for absorption. Just separating them by a few hours made a world of difference. Another patient, Linda, took magnesium along with high-dose zinc every evening. The three minerals clashed in the small intestine, leaving her both malnourished and uncomfortable. A simple adjustment made everything much easier on her body. Many people also focus only on the pill's weight, forgetting the most important part, the elemental magnesium. That's the part the body actually uses. And sometimes for convenience, they take the full magnesium dose all at once, resulting in bloating, diarrhea, and even disrupted sleep. Splitting the dose in two always allows the body to absorb it more gently. What worries me most are those taking high-dose D3 long-term without regular checks. D3 is powerful, and when used incorrectly, it can harm the kidneys, heart, and blood vessels. You see, sometimes the problem isn't that we're missing vitamins, it's that we're not using them correctly. And just by fixing a few small details, the body will thank you in ways you can actually feel. My friends, after more than 3 decades in this field, I've realized something important. Health doesn't change because of big decisions. It changes because of the small things we do right every day. A magnesium pill taken at the right time, a dose of D3 paired with K2, a simple habit of listening to your body. They may seem small, but these little actions create the difference between a tired, worn-out body and one that thrives with vitality. The most important thing I want you to remember today is this: you don't need to be perfect. You just need to understand what your body is telling you and make small adjustments along the way. Health at 60, 70, or beyond isn't a matter of luck. It's a matter of being proactive. And if you're watching this video, it means you've taken time for yourself, and that alone is a big step forward. If you found today's insights helpful, leave a comment, ask a question, or share your own experience. I read every single one. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because we have so much more to explore together on this journey to live strong, live healthy, and live joyfully every single day.